All right. Let's see. I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Always takes a couple minutes to kick in. I'm never really sure. Okay. I am live. All right. Well, I'm going to start out by uh just the basics. Trying to get the controller remapped and then play a couple of games. I'd also like to try out some different cores just to see what they're like, and any ones that access the spinner and trackpad. And let's see. Okay, so this should be all I need. Back. Just reboot and see what we got. I'll be checking the chat as it comes up. Y'all know which game I'm going to, of course. Hey, Cola. I think I might need to remap these, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Bunch, block, kick. Let's try it this way and see. Maybe I'll decide to put the blocks elsewhere, but let's try it here for now. And the biggest difference between this one and the last time I did it, not only just the amazing artwork that you see here, but since this has 8 buttons, then the stick had to move over. So now my hand is here instead of here. I don't think it's going to bother me, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Cola, I don't know how to run it. I loaded the files on here and nothing happens. When you click on it, nothing happens. If you have any tips, I could try it next. Ha, Stendhal, I didn't see your comment until after I'd already said that. Yep, this is what I'm going to try. Now, obviously my view licks, this entire space right here, if not a little bit more, you could rest your hand on. But if it matters, is this sharp? Is this going to dig into my hand? So that's why I'm going to give this a try and see. These are not sandwall buttons. That's kind of the other thing I was curious about. Is, am I just like a grumpy old man that I just don't want to switch from sandwall now? Or can I... Cuemba? I don't know the name of this one, if I'm pronouncing it right. But these light up sticks, or buttons, I mean, are so cool that I just figured, let me try it and see. And maybe I can get used to it. Hey, Crowblogs. Yeah, I really think that this is my go-to recommendation for your average gamer, because you can switch between, you can order them with whatever button combinations you want on there. They offer a few different kinds. The stick is high quality, and the spinner and trackball are also high quality, but the fully loaded version's $200, and you can get cheaper ones that have some of the less options for less money. So it's one of those things where it's like you get a pro level controller, but you also don't have to pay an arm and a leg. So I love that it's the best of all worlds. Obviously, people who are pro gamers are going to, some might think this is perfect for them, others might prefer a different lineup, others might prefer completely custom sticks, and that's totally fine. But if you're not a pro and you're like, well, where do I start? I have a MiSTer, I want to play some spinner games, I don't know if I'm going to play a trackball game or not, this is definitely the way to go. The Octopus is also awesome, but I think that one's more if you want something with console modes built in, as well as a Dreamcast VMU. So you get what you pay for. But this is my go-to, just because. And I might even install the new pad on it, because you can see this is not doing so well with my slightly uneven surface. It actually is not affecting my gaming at all. But I might try that at some point before the stream's over too, just because. Yeah, the physics are a little, you know, but I still love this game. And I love it so much that this is my go-to. So, like, if I am having trouble, like, if the buttons don't feel right. Like, alright, so here's the perfect example. The last Fightbox stream I did. I liked it a lot. But I could absolutely feel the difference in the buttons. Not to the point where I would think, okay, this is a deal breaker, but I absolutely did a couple of times in the stream feel like, man, I wish I had the Sanwas in here. But I don't know. These feel comfy. Or maybe my brain is just tricking me because I like the way it looks so much. I don't know. But I definitely, so far in the 4 rounds that I played or whatever, haven't felt, I wish I haven't felt the need to break out the Vuelix to do a comparison yet. Because I like these. And I think it's the same price with and without the light up buttons. Or within a few dollars or something like that. So it's not like the company's hyping something just to jack the price up. I think this is awesome. And the last time I did this stream, I said I'm not just going to play Mortal Kombat forever. I actually do want to spend some time with it because I want to just see. I mean, right now, not once have I felt uncomfortable here. I think I might be a little more comfortable with it on, but I don't know. Hanging it off the side is kind of a good feel too. It's like $15 to add Sanwa. Okay, well, so it's not unreasonable. It's not cheap though, but whatever. What about the option to add the light up buttons? Because these are awesome. I thought they might be distracting too, but they're not. Maybe if I was in a pitch black room, but I mean, why are you gonna be? I don't see this being an issue for me. You know I gotta do it. What I'm really looking forward to is when the next version of this core comes out that supports the, I believe, the Wolf unit, so that I could play MK1 with the MK Plus on there. I think that would actually be really cool. I'd be interested to see how that ends up working, because I love the MK Plus add-ons, the whole thing about everything about it's awesome. I think I have the dip switches for enemy always does a fatality, which, in my opinion, is a must. An absolute must if you're playing this game. I'm hitting pause for a second because I have an idea. I want to see if I could lower the ISO on my camera. Yeah, that might actually be a better look for this. BB fan, I have just started the stream, and I'm going to play a little bit more Mortal Kombat because I just want to see if I can get used to these buttons or not. Because it's just one of those things where I was so used to Sanwa that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to switch, and I think I am. The artwork on this thing is just too cool. I'll do the spinner next, though. I don't think the, I would love to try the Tempest core, which I don't think supports RGB out. So I think I would have to use that on, I think I would have to use that with, playing through the OBS window, but we'll see. It's been so long since I actually sat and played this that I'm missing some of the response moves. Ah, see that when Kano does that, you're supposed to block, and then when the ball is up in the air, you could freeze him, you could kick him, you could do whatever you want. Why am I forgetting the slide? What is Sub-Zero's slide? And how am I forgetting that after not forgetting it for 30 years or whatever? Oh, and how did I mess that up? Hey Ryan, hey Bubba. Ah, I love doing that. How am I messing this up? Isn't the fatality down toward high punch? Oop. Huh. Hold on, I'm gonna cheat here. I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Original Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero moves. I don't know how I'm forgetting this. I've played this my whole life. Slide. Down, forward, kick to perform. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go back to the stream. I did a quick web search. Low punch, low kick plus block is the slide. That's okay, you know what's interesting? The block, does block 2 not work? I guess it might. Huh. Let me try this again. That's what I was doing before. So is the positioning of the stick messing with me here? It's still one of my favorite finishing moves of all time. It's just so ridiculous. So it's funny, the other block button that I mapped won't do the move. It has to be secondary block. That's why I keep, that's why I wasn't doing it. That's very weird, but whatever. Huh, alright, whatever. Oh. You know, I'm gonna try something here. Define, right, left, down, up, high bunch. Let me try block, kick, low punch, low kick, block 2, pause. Okay, let me try this. Okay, so it wouldn't accept block 2 to do the move. You have to do the main block, which is a mapping thing, because remember the original MK had only a 5-button controller. So when you're doing the double blocking moves, okay, that makes sense. So it wasn't the stick; it was the it was just the mapping. Popple, is this from AliExpress? No. No. Why would you think that? And yeah, the back plus that, so it was just the other button. Any plans for an M64 review? No, I'm not the right person for it. Same exact reason why I didn't do the analog 64, because I could do it, and I could do lag tests and, you know, all the other objective stuff, but there's people out there like Kays that could do a deep dive with more knowledge than I'll ever have, so I'd rather not just do some generic review just like everybody else on the planet. Alright, well, I like this a lot, so now let's switch over and try some of the other cores. Alright, so let's go into Arcade and let's try Tempest. And this is going to be interesting because this is going to work. This is not going to work on my monitor, but it is going to work on TV or on the stream. So let's see. Ratio. Fire. Well, I guess let's just try it. It's reversed on this stuff. Interesting. Let me see the options. Mirror. Oh wait, spinner reverse. Ah, right in front of me. Hey, there we go. Spinner feels very nice. Are there other options here? 3. I think the spinner sensitivity could be tweaked. Also, are there the button protective coating still on here? I think there might be. That's very funny. Was I supposed to take these off? Because they say QNBA on them. That's pretty funny. Well, you know what? Here we go. 20 minutes into a stream, and I didn't realize it was those things were on there. Obviously, it didn't affect the gameplay, really. That's pretty funny. It'd be even funnier if I wasn't supposed to take these off. Oops. Yeah, this is a great arcade game. I love the Jaguar version too. Watch, by the time I pull the last sticker off, there'll be people in the comments like, no, you're not supposed to pull them off. They're there for whatever, but oops. All right. Right now, some of them have like some of the sticker on there. That would drive me crazy. All right. Hey, what's up, Alan? Yeah, there's a lot of lag going through the OBS window, so you'll have to excuse me on this because this core doesn't seem to be working with RGB output yet. The stickers prevent electromagnetic interference through your fingers. Hey, Hardcore, I think you came in after my answer. I'm not reviewing the M64 for the exact same reason that I didn't review the analog 3D, and it's just I'm not the right person for it. I could do a bunch of objective testing, I could do lag testing, but there's no way I'd be able to do it justice like K's would. So I think I've gotten to the point in RetroRGB where, I don't need to be first post. I don't need the attention like that. I think I would much rather spend my time highlighting better members of the community for stuff that's better suited for them, and then stick to the stuff that I'm good at while just keeping everybody in the loop. So by me not wasting my time doing a review, and I say wasting my time because you'd see almost the same as you'd see from every other good reviewer, right? But that frees me up to do stuff that nobody else does. And I love the weird stuff too. But when they release their DAC, I pre-ordered it. I will absolutely review that because I think that's needed. I think we need something like that. And if they could pull it off and it actually works the way it's supposed to, then that's a great deal for a fully loaded DAC. Especially if the audio is somewhat decent on it. Yeah, so I'm going to switch games only because I don't like playing through the OBS window like this. I think Kondo released the Marble Madness 2 core. I believe that was an AI core, but it's not really about AI or not. It's about, did you put in the work to vet it and make it actually usable or not? And that's the key here. So we'll see. But it's also like a preliminary core and everything, so we'll just see for ourselves. controls. Trackball on. Oh, and there's a sensitivity for the trackball. Awesome. Video, original. Alright, so up, start. Wait a minute. I messed this one up. Hold on a second. Let's try this again. Right, left, down, up. Action, start. Test, start, coin, pause. No. Alright, let's try this. Alright. Trackball's reversed on this one too. How weird is that? Let's see if there's options for that. Huh. That's very strange. I don't have the other R10. I sent that to Beast, so I can't test if it's reversed on that one. That's pretty interesting. It'd be kind of hard to play like this, but let me just try again, I guess. I would flip it upside down, but then left and right would be reversed, and that would also drive me crazy. Yeah, I can't play it reversed like that. Let me try another one and see. Wait, I wonder, does it have to do with the mapping? Let me just see. So there's no stick in here, so we'll right, left, up. All right, so it's not doing it. Okay. Yeah, all right. So that's not going to work. All right, so let me check the first Marble Madness and see about that. Buttons and stick are awesome on this so far. Let me try this and not much else here, really. Oh, all right. No, this one's fine. I'll message Kondo about that. Oh, no. A little more sensitive. So, I never played the arcade version of this game until I was an adult, and I saw it at a conference. Am I supposed to press a button here or something? Oh, it's waiting for the second player, I think. All right, I messed that up. Let me reset. And because I'd always played it on NES as a kid, so I never knew it had a trackball in the arcade. So when I eventually actually played it in the arcade, I was pretty blown away. I was like, wow, this is such a different experience, and obviously it makes total sense. So, all right, one player start. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Von Krul, go into their website and they'll show you what each of the parts are and everything, and you can even select which buttons that you would like if you want a choice of buttons. These are the light up ones. There's also they have Sanwa buttons, and I think one other choice. Yeah, this is fun. This is so much fun with the trackball. I'm gonna message Kondo real quick just to... Is there a pause? Oops. Well, I guess I'll forfeit this one and move on. I would totally be willing to try UMK3 if somebody told me how to get it working, because it just wouldn't work when I tried it. The Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 aren't. They're still in private beta at CoinOp Collection. There are other ones out there, but this is... if anybody actually takes the time to read the CoinOp Collection Patreon posts, you'll see the effort that went into these and how they're absolutely aiming to be cycle accurate, aiming to be cycle accurate hardware reproductions. Whereas the other ones that are out there are AI generated and then finalized and tweaked to try to work, and they're fine. I have no problem with MAME ports. This is an open source platform. People should be able to do whatever they want about it. Or with it and for it. My only thing is honesty, as always. And it's the exact same thing as the do you use save states debate. It doesn't really matter if you use save states to beat the game if you're having a good time, but if you go throw it in people's faces, like, yeah, it's game's easy, I beat it in like 4 hours, but you used save states, it's not the same thing. So it's just, it's the same thing. You put 1,000 hours into reverse engineering something, with or without AI's help. You put a gazillion hours into it, you have a super accurate recreation that is different than having automation do most of the work without all of the QA and testing. And I don't have a problem with that. It's just a matter of telling people. So if you... Wow, I don't know why I'm so bad at this one. So if you tell people, like, hey, this is like a potentially not so accurate core, but hey, you get to play your game on it, and eventually we'll fix this one or somebody else will do it the long way. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just don't advertise it as, hey, this is a perfectly flawless core, better than everybody else's. Because it's not. Oh. This game gets hard quick, huh? Typical 80s arcade game. So that was just plus 10 seconds with no invincibility or anything. Trackball does feel really nice, though. I know I keep dying, but that's just because I'm not the best at games. All right, what else are we trying? So, let me double check this, all right? Hold on. So I got... I passed it. What am I doing? U comes after T. So that's all that happens when I do it. And I'm going to check the... I'll check my my SD card to make sure I have it in there and double check the naming and stuff like that just to see. I could do Arkanoid again. I think I did that last time, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Let me just So does the MRA file have to be the exact same name as... No, probably not, right? Try Tapper. Is Tapper spinner or trackball? And let me just look up and make sure I got the right files. Um, all right, let me boot this back up and see. Oh, let me try this one. Hey, Neo. Is this compatible with... All right, yeah, no, I'm getting something on my monitor now. Okay. The aspect ratio seems slightly off, but we'll see. Yeah, it's wired USB, averaging 1 millisecond of latency. Averaging. Well, this is definitely fun. I don't know if I'm good enough at UMK3 to say if there's any errors or not. The aspect ratio seems a hair off, but that could also just be because it's the weird resolutions and I'm going on a PVM for it, so who knows? Magic Tech, it's a MAME port. So the short answer is yes, but it's not one of the cycle accurate, great recreations of it. It's more of just like porting software emulation over, but that's fine. That doesn't necessarily mean anything bad or good. It all comes down to the quality checking. That's it. Is it actually accurate? Does it actually work? Is it really zero latency? Are you adding a bunch of overhead? I honestly forgot the finish moves for this. BB fan, I don't know about generic. They're usually console specific. So for anybody who's familiar with this and the release and everything else, there was an original release that that's the one I'm playing now, and there was another release with a different name on the MRA file, but there was no RBF file to match. Anybody know what was up with that? I'd be willing to try the newer version too. I think there was even something about CRT adjustments. Yeah, I completely forgot all the finishing moves for this one. I guess I'll play one more round, then I'll do Arkanoid, and then I also, since we're streaming here, I want to, and we're using MiSTer, I want to show off the new GUIs. I already had the Zaparoo front end working, so that'll just be a quick moment to enable that, and then we could try going through talkies and seeing what that's like. And I don't have an external USB drive laying around, so I can't test the disk loading features. Honestly, you know, I always see people arguing online, and half the time it feels like they're arguing because they're in the mood to argue, and nobody really just takes the time to listen to both sides anymore. At least not people who like to yell online for their favorite hobby. And it's, you know, I see everybody's point, and I actually agree with everybody's point, right? I don't want some crappy, quick AI-generated switch MAME over to MiSTer port. But at the same time, it's an open source platform. Anybody should be able to do whatever they want. And oh, by the way, if you're honest about it and you say, hey, no, I just used AI to create this core, it's good enough. But, you know, if you want the cycle accurates, wait for somebody else to do it. What the heck is wrong with that? There's nothing. Now I get to play a MAME-like version of UMK3, but through my MiSTer without requiring a Raspberry Pi. And then and I still will pay and support developers who want to make the cycle accurate ones, and I'll move on to that when it's ready. I don't see the anger. Both could very easily coexist with each other. By the way, Magic Tech, I wasn't talking about your anger. I was talking about people online. I wasn't talking about you at all with that. All right, let's try Arkanoid. Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it sideways. All right. Yeah, the stick, I honestly haven't even noticed. And I don't know if it's because I'm just so used to balancing like this on other sticks. Let me try this, and let me also try putting the rubber pad on the bottom and see how that goes. Remember, I'm playing this sideways here, so... Yeah, spinner feels great. I mean, I did test it in the other stream, so there's obviously no surprise here, but... Man, this core on a CRT, this is exactly why it's going to take a long time for flat panels to truly replicate this. I mean, the movement is just instant. That's very cool. All right, so was there any INI edits needed for the spinner to work? No. However, if you're using an old version of MiSTer, you're going to want to update your MiSTer INI file, because last year I absolutely had to change MiSTer INI settings. And after the last stream I did with the Fightbox controller, somebody had asked about that, and I realized just a few weeks earlier I had completely formatted the SD card on my MiSTer and started over. And that's when I realized, like, oh, I didn't do anything to that. It just did it automatically. Cool. I got a piece of furniture that came with a stubby... Come on. There we go. Came with a stubby screwdriver. I like it when stuff like that comes with actually usable items. So, actually, you know what? Let me show you what I'm doing before I actually do it. This right here is a, if I put it on right, is a rubber pad that's meant to work instead of the feet. And the feet, when they screw in, they don't actually, this isn't structural. This isn't like holding the metal together. It's just screwing feet in. So I'm going to take this off and try the rubber bottom and hope that I like it better, because I don't want to waste an awesome rubber bottom on this. And I guess I'll try MK1 again, unless anybody has any other suggestions. I could do MK2 just to change it up. I'm really bad at the game, though. I was even back in the day. I don't know why. It felt different and different good, but you know, everybody's tastes are completely different. So I know so many people that think MK2 is a far, far superior game in every way, and they're probably right. All right. Yes, they sell the rubber bottom on the site. Check the links in the description. I think I linked directly to it in the latest post about this 8-button version. And I got a little piece of sticker left on this. Let me grab my knife and just pull that up. I'll spin it around so you could see. Neo, is Hypernoid just available right in MiSTer through Update All, or is it something I have to download and configure? If it's available in MiSTer, I'll play it right now. If it's something I have to download, I'll give you access to post links in the chat. Then maybe you could do that for us. All right. So I'm terrible at this, and I always mess it up. So I'm going to be super cautious. Ugh. Wow. All right. I didn't mess it up. So let's see how it feels with this on it. And I'll start with MK1 again just because I'm used to it, and we'll go from there. This is still an uneven surface, so that's not going to change, but let's see if I feel a difference. Here, let me... I'll do MK2 just cause, you know, why not? I already showed the first one. And is Hypernoid a game I could just download, or would I be accidentally stealing from a developer if I did that? Oh, wait, I messed this up. High punch, block, kick, low punch, low kick, block 2. Let me move this over a little bit. All right, let's try this. So I mean this with love and respect. I don't feel any difference with this rubber bottom on at all. I imagine if I had this on my lap, like I have it now, I imagine that would be a massive difference. But just sitting it on the desk like this, I don't think I would notice a difference. Magic Tech, is it a free homebrew or not? I don't want to steal from anybody. Which is ironic, because most devs would love to just let me, you know, quote, borrow their game for 10 minutes while I show it on a live stream and hopefully bring them some sales, but it's still not how I roll. At least intentionally. I'm sure I've done it by accident, but that's not on purpose. So, you see how when I hit block, the hands go up and then down? Let me show you again over here. When I hit block, and I could hold it on this one. But block 2, that doesn't happen. Let me find right, left, down, up. Let's do... So it's the same thing. Mapping to block 2. Let me message the coin output collection team before I forget. Mapping to block 2 has a different result. Alright, I just messaged them. So I just showed it here, and let me show it again in MK1 just to... Come on. So I'm going to reboot this way. Not free to download. Okay, cool. Well, I would love to check it out another time, but I want to do it right. I want to pay the dev. I want to go through all that. SJF Block 2 is always included to compensate for 6-button control sticks so that you have the choice of 2 blocks. It's just something that was always there in MAME and always there in other platforms as well. And so let me remap again. All right, right, left, down, up, high punch, block, high kick, low punch, low kick, block 2, start, coin, pause. All right, so seeing this again. So block does hold, block 2 does hold on this one, unlike the first one, or unlike MK2, but you can't do Sub-Zero's moves. Interesting. Just register as, yeah, that makes total sense. This is more of a point of like, you know, let me just message the coin op collection team, because why not, right? If they're like, no, you idiot, it's by design this way, it's like, okay, cool, that's fine. You know, I'd rather be an idiot than not, but if they're like, oh, I didn't realize that because I don't use block 2, then that's a good message to send. There you go. Ooh. What the heck just happened to the capture card? Okay. Let's try this again. Huh. Wonder what that was all about. Anything else you want to see with this stick? Because I like it a lot. And I don't know if the 6-button or 8-button version, if there really is a difference. Obviously, there's 2 buttons, you know, difference. But like from a comfort point of view, from a space of hands, like I don't think I would care, and I mean that with love. I don't mean that like in a nasty way. Like I don't think one would actually bother me over the other. I think it's way more of a question of, do you want, what buttons do you want? And these were excellent. I don't have a complaint about those, to the point where if I end up buying one of these, I might consider this just for the light up buttons, just because it's super cool looking. Cranable, this is the one that's linked in the description that I did a little mini review and social media post on. This is the 8-button version. Irritating Maze is an old Neo Geo game. Let me see. Well, I guess that answers that question, huh, Neo? Remember when I said I reformatted my MiSTer SD card a while back? Let me see if I have it on my server. I don't know if that's still there or if that got lost in the mix too. No, that all got lost. Let me try one more place just to see if I have it backed up. Yeah, okay. I got that. All right, let me see. I'll give this a try and see. And then maybe we could check out some of the MiSTer GUIs to see what those are like and try to update and get the latest ones and all that. Do I have to put joystick or spinner? Joystick, spinner, mouse. Should I try mouse for this then, maybe? Yeah, mouse. Irritating Maze. Look at it, it's right there. It's like the developers put some thought into this. Cool. All right. I guess I should. I'll do pressing button. All right. You know what? Let me map this. So, right, left, down, up. I'm gonna just drive everybody crazy and do the bottom one, because you're not supposed to do that. Okay. Sensitivity here. Let me try this again. All right. All right. I get it. trackball, super sensitive. Let's keep going and try this again. What a game. All right. Somebody's messaging me about console mode right now, actually. So let's do that next. If I can make it through one round of this. Oh, come on. I guess let me try one more time. And then I'll switch over to testing the other stuff because I'm pretty curious. Hey, Felipe. Yeah, Neo, all I have to do is switch it in the menu to mouse, and that was it. And it worked perfectly, and I didn't have to change anything. When I spoke to the Fightbox team, they also told me, or they asked if I wouldn't mind mentioning that it's compatible with Linux. So I'm mentioning that now, but I think any of us nerds know that because if it wasn't compatible with Linux, it wouldn't work with MiSTer or Raspberry Pis. But I think the point was that it's compatible with Linux. Like just plug it into your PC if you use Linux for gaming, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to, I think I'm re-enabling the Zaparoo update here, and we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to run update all, which is the most boring thing to watch on stream, I know, but I want to do it just so that people could kind of see how it goes. So anybody has any questions or anything, now would be the time. Assuming that I actually booted this correctly. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So let me edit 0. Let me get this back. Okay. So this is the Zaparoo front end. No. So that's how you access recently played, which is awesome. I love that one. And to update, that's all you do. Update all is built in. But this should update the Zaparoo front end as well. Unfortunately, this is all you get when you see the update, but that should be okay because at least you could do it. You could back out and do it on, oh, that's actually pretty cool. You could back out and do it the main way if you want to. So I'm going to test this, and if anybody has any questions of what they want to see in the Zaparoo GUI, let me know. The best way to install it is with MiSTer Companion, and you know what? Let me show that too, actually. And then once I kind of give a demo of this, I'll try loading the new console mode from Taki and see. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's actually showing the, oh wait, that's the wallpaper download. Well, we'll see if it works now. I'm not going to wait for that all to finish, so if it's just wallpapers. Oh no, that's going. All right. Let me see if I can fit all this on here. All right. So this is what MiSTer Companion looks like. And this is by Anime Otaku, the same developer who did the launching from CDs. So being able to connect to your MiSTer and make changes here is super, super easy. So actions connect, you need the IP address, so scan network. And this should find it because it should be connected. All right. Now it's in there, so you hit connect. And now we're connected to it. On the device, shows you all this stuff, SD card, file sharing, static wallpaper, all that stuff. We're running it right now, but you could do it right from there. And all these things are super handy. And this is a free app, by the way. Just search for MiSTer Companion. The install center is where it's got tons of cool stuff, though. You have everything. That's the CIFS mount. That's the how to access off of your Retro NAS. I mean, these are all. This is all super, super easy to install all of this stuff. And that's how I installed the Zaparoo front end. And that's it. That's all I did. So that's how easy it was to get all that. You can also check all the MiSTer settings in here. All the scripts, save manager. This is really cool for backing up your save games and stuff like that. But yeah, so this is how, and you could even, if you have a brand new MiSTer, you could flash it from this. So this is cool. I like it. This is a very, very handy piece of software that's getting updated like daily. So what I usually do is just leave a link to it in my desktop or in my bookmarks menu, and then I download it to the desktop every time I need to use it, and then I leave it in a MiSTer folder just in case. But yeah, this is super handy piece of software, and maybe the other front end will end up here at some point soon too. It was just released yesterday, so but yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here that I'm tempted to just start clicking on to try, except I also just want to make sure that this update happens so we can continue to test it. I like it. All right, so let me get this back to the main view. All right, getting back to the chat here. The Duke 3D and Quake ports are, I believe, hybrid cores that are part software emulation, part not, and it uses the ARM chip on there for most of it. So it could, it's not going to be the best, but whatever, it's free and it's there. Neo, does all that happen with the SD card remaining in your MiSTer? Yes. You just need to be connected. That's it. That's all you need to do. All right. Reboot. Hit yes. We're not rebooting. Yep. So it takes an extra couple seconds to boot because it first has to boot MiSTer Main and then it boots over to Zaparoo. But it's all pretty cool. Let's see. Consoles. Loading systems. This might be taking this long because it's the first time loading after a big update, but let me just be patient because I didn't do anything weird to this, so it should just detect it and come on up. Probably shouldn't take this long though, right? Oh, so it's acts like a CRT or it acts like a core. That's pretty funny. I didn't realize that. Well, let's try this again and see. All right, cool. Don't know why it's detecting 3 different locations. I don't know if it's detecting locally on the micro SD as well as CIFS over the network. Because I only have like 4 games in here on the... All right. No? Okay. And as you can see, there's no artwork, but I did download the artwork. So I'm not really sure. Has anybody used this before? Do they know how to get the artwork working on this? And then once you're in the cores, it's all exactly the same. And that's it. So I like it a lot. I think it's very cool. I think it's a pretty interesting interface. This looks, the reason it looks all wide on your screen is because it's set up for CRT mode on this. So if you set it for only using HD resolutions, you could fit a lot more on screen. It's a little nicer looking, but this is the version of the interface that's compatible with both the both CRTs and HD resolutions. See what else we got. Other. Do I have Sonic Mania on here? I don't remember. Nothing's loading for me over here. All right, whatever. I must not have it all loaded correctly. So now what I'm going to do is show 2 things. One very quick, one I don't know because I've never done it before. All right, so here is how to disable it. You go into MiSTer INI. Make sure you can see it on screen. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and how it says main Zaparoo right here, just comment it out. And then it's still there. You can still access it, but it boots to the original. So what I'm going to do now is reboot this and make sure everything still works. And then I'm going to install the Superstation 1 version and see how that works, or if it even works. All right, so as you can see, everything is working. No change. Everything's exactly the way it's supposed to be. So let's go back and mess with this SD card and see. All right, so in the Linux directory, we have to copy these 2 files. Actually, you know what? Let me not copy them. but rename them just in case. Okay. Paste these new ones in. So they're about the same size, just different. Okay, and then we're going to go into the scripts directory and include the install console mode script. And that should be everything we need. So I'm going to eject this, reboot the MiSTer, and then we are going to find out together how this new interface works and if it works. So I've never done this before, so we're all going to see in real time how long this takes, what it does, everything. Hope we're not here for an hour doing this. It's not showing up on the CRT, and this is only a black screen. Okay, all right. Glad I was patient. It's doing something. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know what I did. I hit the wrong button. Let me reboot because I don't know what I hit. This takes a long time to load. Let's go back into the settings. I'll try not to double hit it here. So right now on my CRT, it's giving me that, disable frame buffer thing. So I'm going to do that to see if it's even coming out on the CRT and see what happens. FB terminal equals 0. Stendhal, you didn't miss anything. I just followed the instructions and installed it, and now we're kind of at first boot with the new. I showed the Zaparoo front end, and this is now Taki's console mode. And I'm also going to boot it without Wi-Fi for now, so I could make sure it's not trying to do anything on the. It's saying to disable frame buffer again, but I already did that. But let's give this a shot anyway. Load game, arcade, console. All right, so that all worked. The MiSTer menu is still there. So let me reboot it again and see. Thought I just put FB terminal equals 0, but we'll have to check again in a moment. Different MiSTer INI files. And you can quit to MiSTer. Okay. I am going to reboot, or I'm going to check the MiSTer INI file one more time because I could swear I just changed what I was supposed to change. And we'll go from there. Hey, Kawaka. Did I change the wrong one? No. FB terminal equals 0. Did I have something at the bottom? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's reboot again and try. And I'm still seeing on my CRT, it says if you see this, you need to modify MiSTer INI, either disable frame buffer, FB terminal equals 0, or enable scaler. So that's not, I thought, what was supposed to have happened. The only Hello Kitty. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. I take my recommendations as seriously as possible. So, and I really, really do love this R10 Pro. So I'm glad to hear you're also having a good experience with it. Well, let's see. Oh, this is all right. So that's very cool. You could just select what you want. That's nice. Well, that's pretty cool. About arcade, how's it do here? All right, so this would take forever if I wanted to go through all of it. Noted. Let me go back and just see if we got it from there. History is always good. That's always very helpful. Favorites are always awesome. I don't think I've taken any screenshots. Can you scrape favorites? That's a good one to check. So this just crashed on me when I went into display and change mode. That seems to have crashed. It's still, much like the Zaparoo front end, works like a MiSTer core, so that's good news, I guess. So is there anything anybody else wants to see with this? Because while it certainly looks cool, like you're still doubling the load time at least, and it's not working on my CRT. Is there a second Mr. I that I need to... You know what? Let's just check it. Let's just check it. I'm already here. So while both of the GUIs look great, and I actually really appreciate having them as options, I wouldn't use them at the trade-off of speed. And I'm almost more impressed with the easy integration of favorites and recently played. Let me stretch this so we could... What did it add at the bottom, I wonder? Well, let's look at the other one. Mr. ini.backup. I don't know why Windows does this. I'm double clicking a file on a micro SD card and it's spinning up my physical hard drive that I'm not accessing at all. I don't get it. All right, so this was the so when console mode front end was installed, it renamed my MiSTer ini file a backup, and that's what still has the Zaparoo in there and everything else. And then that had FB. I wonder, it's not reading the backup ini as well, is it? That would be kind of crazy. Well, let's give this a try. But yeah, if there's anything anybody else wants to see, I might scrape a little bit more artwork or something just because. And I think it's cool and all, but I think for me, MiSTer has always been about, do you get to, you know, how good are the games? But the recently accessed menu and the favorites menu are very important. And those are both awesome, awesome things to have on. Yeah, so history, favorites. So what I want to do, Kawaka had a great question. Let's see. So let's go into arcade, midway, and then no. Favorites. That's all I had to do. And Mega Drive favorites. Now we have to do 240p test suite 2, of course. So it does have the artwork, but this is an awesome question. Game library, scrape artwork. Is it for games or can you select favorites? Okay. So that's an option. that's an option that I'd like Taki to add. I'm gonna message him. I don't think he reads my messages anyway, but I'm gonna do it anyway right now. All right, I just asked, and I think that's actually an awesome idea. I already passed that along, so that's cool because that means you only have to deal with scraping the games that you play on a regular basis. So let's try this. So yeah, that's very cool. My hidden games? So let me just check. Because it's not working on my CRT still. And this is one thing I would like to do before I end the stream. I know I'm going an hour and a half now on not the most exciting topics, but I'm trying to figure out how you get the CRT mode working. Console mode wiki. Console and video. All right, well, let's try it. Back out. Let's try the grid view just to see what it looks like. Oh, that is pretty cool, especially for a favorites menu. That's neat too. All right. So let me just try updating and see. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to update console mode. It says up to date. Yeah, I still haven't gotten my Super Dock. It's actually not mine. My friend bought it and had it drop shipped to me. I bought the actual Superstation. I bought a gray one. My friend bought the clear blue one and matching dock, and I'm still gonna do a live stream, just giving it a try to see, but we'll go from there. Interesting. I already thought I was up to date on this because I ran this at the beginning of the stream, or beginning of the GUI mode section. But we'll see. Maybe this is changing something. Unless, wait a minute, I might be missing something here. I'll wait for this to. Here. Video. All right, hold on. Was this? Is this it? Oh, that's very funny. So now this is working on my CRT. And this view looks just as ugly on my CRT as it does here. Let me go back to list view. All right, let me try big grid view. No, it's still just as ugly as you see here. That's still just as ugly. I don't know what NX view is. Oh, it's not great. Yeah, that's exactly what you're seeing on stream is exactly how it looks here. So let's just go list view. That looks very cool. I prefer list view anyway, but that actually looks pretty cool. I don't know, it doesn't look that great on stream, I think, but this is, and also remember this is going to be a little stretched on stream, but this looks fine here. All right. Still interesting that this is, let me just check my capture software to see. Because it is showing 720p, even though it says console mode resolution. Let me try this again. Let me check my MiSTer INI file and see what mode is actually being used. Okay. All right. Let's fire the sucker back up and see if it all matches. And see if it kind of crashes again when I click the other button. Oh, you could change it right here just by going left and right. Interesting. Okay. But you can't. Oh, whoa. Hold on. What did I do? Oh, and after you use left and right to change that, it reboots. So last time, for whatever reason, it was crashing when I did that. I don't know why it's not now. CRT overscan. That's very cool that there's options. Yeah, I just like the sharp option. Yeah, sharp looks the best. At least on a PVM. Who knows how it would look uh, on a consumer CRT. So yeah, honestly, history and favorites are by far my favorite of both of these front ends. Like not even close. History is just super handy, and favorites are obviously handy. And I would really love having artwork being able to download just for favorites. I think that would be perfect. Uh, and I already checked with Taki on that one. And you know what? Shall we go back and try to see if that could happen on the Zaparoo core? Yeah, Kawaka. I love this thing. Is there any way to rotate the screen on arcade cores that are set up for vertical play on a CRT? Yeah, it's per core. Some of them haven't built right in. Some of them have it built in, and you can only do it on a CRT or a flat panel. Others have it for both. But yes, absolutely. And let's see. Kawaka said, can the console mode resolution be set to 480 maybe? Let me see. Okay. Certainly doesn't change anything for the CRT view. And actually doesn't change anything on either. It's a great question though. Oh, let's see what happens there. I don't know if it's gonna. My capture card should work with it, but we'll see. Let me check my capture card and see what it's detecting. Capture card's detecting 1920 by 1080. So let's go back in here. Yeah, I'm not really gonna worry about that. Let me. All right. So here's what I am gonna do. Um, I am out of water and I'm parched like I've been smoking. Oh, that flicker happened on the CRT too, by the way. I'm gonna just fill up my water real quick. If anybody has any more questions on console mode, I'll check those out. And if not, when I get back in 1 minute, I'm gonna do the try to switch back to Zaparoo front end and figure that out. So just give me 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Let's see. How many MiSTer cores use the spinner or trackball? Quite a bit. Stendhal, thank you very much for hanging out too. Unrelated, but if I'm going to take a look at the Mod Retro 64, no, for the exact same reasons, I'm not going to review the Analog 3D, and it's just I'm not the right person. There's people like K's out there that could do ultra deep dives that are better than I could do, and there's a bunch of other, and I don't mean this to be insulting, but there's a bunch of other generic reviews out there that put them side by side and talk about the UI and stuff like that, and you don't need me for that. There's already those out there. I'd rather spend my time doing stuff that nobody else works on. But it looks cool. I don't get the joke, Rent. I'm sorry. So let's try to put it back. So we try just doing that and see what happens. Is it that easy? Is it not that easy? I should probably format this MiSTer soon, just because I've loaded so much crap on it. Okay, so I can't just do that to go back to Zaparoo. Let me check the other stuff and see about those as well. We'll go back in Linux, and there is, yep. No. I gotta delete this one first. Dummy, come on. Right. But honestly, if I didn't watch the video, I didn't have time. But if from what I've heard, there was a launch video in which they talked about uh, being able to load other cores on it. They talked about trying to make parts available for a long time. They talked about open sourcing the hardware, and if all that's true, that's all awesome. All right, so that didn't work either. Uh, Wait, did I forget to comment it back in the INI file? What a moron! I think I might have done that too. Hold on. All right, let's go back to here. Yeah, I didn't change that one back. And did I uncomment this on the back? Yeah, I know. All right, that was all my fault. What a moron! I probably didn't even need to use those other ones. All right, need to delete the other ones. But whatever. Whatever. Let's see. Okay. So what I will show, since we have to see both modes of the other one, resolution. And I think it's still going to look a little weird because it's still in CRT mode. So I want to show you what Zaparoo looks like in full resolution mode. So it's a little sharper. The aspect ratio is correct. I don't think I marked any favorites yet. Recently played. So that's all very cool. All right. So I want to check Kauka's idea to see. Thor, if you're talking about the PCB and the controller, it's one of the open source boards. It's all linked in the description, the main review I did of it, and its average is 1 millisecond of latency. So let's see here. Actually, can you go right from the recently played to add to favorites? No. Okay. This is pretty cool though. Oh, did not mean to do that at all. All right. Let me try one more time. I think I'm basically done with the stream. I just want to verify what Kauka suggested for console mode front end. Can you add a bunch to favorites and only scrape the artwork of the favorites? I think that's a pretty good one. I'll message Wizzo too, but he's definitely sleeping right now. So let's go arcade. All right, so no. Add to favorites. Do the same thing with some console stuff. See, it's funny that it's detecting this too, because I am not connected, or the other ones, because I am not connected to CIFS. Let me also try and recently played. I just hit the X button to add it. No. All right, so we have favorites now. Whoa! Almost certainly did add it to favorites. Yeah, by all means, that looks like it. Well, that's weird. All right, going into the settings. Yeah. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. This is super boring, so stick around for like one more minute if you're here, and I will absolutely be honest and let you know when to drop off. But So we are going to, so that's G. All right, so SD card formatter. Hope there's nothing on here I needed. Perfect. Let me, hey, what's up, Beast? How you doing? I checked out the fight stick. It's awesome. Hey, since you're here, dude, how does your hand feel on the R10 Pro 6 button? And do you think, I know it's kind of hard without actually seeing one, do you think if it was, the stick was moved over an inch, it would be worse? Because I had no problem balancing my hand on it at all. I didn't find any issues whatsoever in this version. Here, let me, since you're here, right here, playing games like this, I had no problem whatsoever. My hand didn't cramp. I was able to do all my moves. The only thing that I guess was weird was when I was trying to do this, just right for moves. I don't know if it was the stick or I'm out of practice or what. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right, let me go back to display capture and let's go to this. And we're going to go to Flash SD. We'll do this is pretty cool. I'm doing it. Let me make sure you could actually see it. Sorry, hold on. There we go. All right. So this is flashing MiSTer directly from MiSTer Companion. Run MiSTer Companion as administrator. All right, hold on a second. I'm doing it this way so you don't get all the flashes on your screen. Run as administrator. And we're back. Okay. So Flash SD. Interesting. It's not letting me. Well, huh. Well, I'm just going to do it manually. Y'all can see this? Is this viewable on here? Yeah, probably. So all I'm doing here, going to MiSTer Fusion and update all. And actually, I'll do the update all through MiSTer Companion and go from there. And all I got to do is extract this. I'm going to go Win32 disk imager. G drive. And right. Xenotilt and Demon Tilt. What games are those? Let me put this in. Pinball. Oh, all right. Hey, Anime Otaku. I did actually. In fact, I closed it and reopened it as administrator for that. Awesome software, though. Beasts at the bottom side buttons is the flippers, and the upper side buttons is left tilt, right tilt. That's awesome. I got to give that a try. Anime, it could be me too. You never know what I've done to my machine. It just, I'm anything that you could possibly do wrong, I do all the time by accident. Sometimes on purpose. Okay. All right. So, all right. Now I am going to add my Wi-Fi to this just by copying over my my previous. So we're going to go to scripts. I'll open up the other one. That's my backup. Wait, not scripts. Moron. Linux. Okay. And I will switch back over, and I should be able to, once it connects to Wi-Fi, I should be able to just use MiSTer Companion to do the rest. Which you don't have to do, but I'm a fan, so I'm going to show it. All right, so I just want to wait until I get the Wi-Fi logo on here. I will load up MiSTer Companion in anticipation. Okay, we got Wi-Fi. I'll switch back to display capture. And I opened it with administrator, by the way, and that's the issue. So all I did is hit refresh drives, and that's the error that I got. Looks like a Balena issue. So maybe if I try just to help just to help Anime Otaku for a second. I don't mind troubleshooting. Removed and downloaded Balena, and I downloaded it now as an administrator to see if that makes a difference. It's taking a little while longer than I expected. Oh, that's spiking my CPU too. Hey, Carlo. 2 thumbs up. I love it. I think it's absolutely excellent. And I think especially the value, because if you want all these options, it's $200. But if you actually don't really care about all those options, then you could get cheaper ones with just the stick, just the spinner, etc. All right, so Anime, it might actually be Balena on my end. Yeah, it might be a Balena thing because it took way too long and spiked the CPU just to extract it and stuff. But anyway, let's scan network. Should come up right here when we see it. Ooh, no MiSTer found. Dun dun dun. All right, let's take a look. So it's 192.168.112. Let's try it manually. Ooh, unable to connect. So that it must be because I am such a new it's such a new installation. Because it's brand new, it doesn't have any of the other stuff on here. It doesn't have any of the cores, it doesn't have any of the scripts. So I am going to manually download update all real quick and just throw that right on the micro SD. Oh, funny, there's just a new update 2 hours ago. Well, and yes, I know this background kills the streaming, but you got to start somewhere. All right. Loading back up. And we'll see what we got. Just waiting for the Wi-Fi logo. Okay. Main cores, JT cores are on, coin-op collection on. No. Yep. So Anime Otaku, this is it, right? This is all people have to do now? Just press this one button to get your CD cores? That's pretty cool. I forgot what the alternative cores are. Let me just leave it as bare as possible. What are these MiSTer cores? How are they different? Let's start with these, the tools and scripts. Key organizer. Oh, you can get it right from here? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And Anime Otaku, what are your MiSTer scripts on here? I totally forgot. I'm sorry. And RetroSpy is cool, but I want to keep mine minimal as possible. Extra content. BIOS database, yes. Arcade ROMs, yes. And, game manuals, nah, I don't need it. Ronnie, yep, absolutely. And both. Let's get Anime Otakus as well. Those are the 16:9 ones. So I mostly use this on both, so I gotta skip those. Uber Yoshi boot ROMs, no, because I downloaded them manually. I actually do support on Patreon. I just need to system options, auto boot. Yep. Let me see if I could. Oh, thank you. So those scripts are AutoTime, CD Game Organizer, RA Viewer, FTP, Save Sync, um, Dav browser, static wallpaper, and sync thing. And those are just scripts, right? So it's not like you're installing all of those things. You're just uh, adding the scripts as an option. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it for this stream because I just don't want to sit here and have you all wait for the next 20 minutes while this thing updates. So let me just go back to this view. So my apologies for my typical ADHD stream. I do a whole bunch of things at once because that's how my crazy brain works, and I don't know any other way to do things. So let me just go through all three of the things that I have gone through in the stream, and I'm going to do a post on basically all of this stuff. So R10 Pro, I love. I think as just a fight stick, it's excellent. Metal case, I love this is the new all rubber bottom beast. You probably should get this one if you're still on. You should probably have this rubber bottom on there for you. I did not have any problem with the 8-button version versus the 6-button to the point where I didn't at all feel a difference. I also didn't really feel a difference between these buttons and the Sanwa buttons. But maybe I can try to hang out with Beast at some point soon, and we could put them next to each other. We could swap sticks, and have him try this one out. I love the artwork. It's nuts. This looks like a 70s fighter jet. All the functionality works good, but as just a stick, it's great. As with all these options built in, that's the real value, because there's a bunch of other fight sticks that perform just as well with similar components that are buttons only. But I don't know of any that's this value that has all of them. And of course, I wouldn't be talking about it if it was a laggy piece of crap, and it is not. The USB controller in here averages 1 millisecond of latency on MiSTer, which is just awesome. So this is still my number one recommended fight stick. My number two is actually the Octopus because of its added Dreamcast VMU and its console connection cables. Now, if you don't use those, this is better. And if you predominantly use those and you don't need a spinner and a trackball, the other one's better. So it's, just choices for everybody. As for the MiSTer UIs, they're both good. They both have their ups and downs. The console mode one seems a little snappier, and the one from Taki. And I think the only feature that I don't want to say missing, but the only feature I'd love to see was Kawaka's idea of having downloading artwork just for the favorites. The one from Wizzo is absolutely great too. I like them both. They both support CRT and HDMI output and all that stuff. I'm going to ask him about scraping artwork for just favorites as well. They're both good, but for me personally, the two advantages over the main MiSTer GUI by far is a folder for last played, like a history, and also a favorites folder. And I mean this with respect. I don't really care about game artwork for every single game in the collection, but I do think having an artwork for favorites only is incredible, and I'd love to see that on MiSTer Main, which I don't think is possible at all. But so yeah. Magic Tech. Anybody know if there are any games that would need 8-button? Yeah, modern games. Or if you decided your Neo Geo layout wants to be A B C D, A B C D, A B C D. Like having an 8-button combo allows you the button mapping that you prefer for that. Because remember, it's USB, so it's not just for retro; it's for modern stuff too. Side buttons are for pinball games, yes. And they're also for other functionalities because they're just programmable buttons, so you could play those too. And the outside buttons have more of a travel to them, which you kind of want for pinball, I think. Magic Tech said game artwork is wonderful for people browsing and picking random games just from the first impression of the cover art, like we used to do at game stores back in the day. I agree completely, except I either have two setups. I have my main MiSTer setup with just the ROMs that I use on a regular basis on the micro SD, and I also have every ROM humanly possible on my server. So for the ones on my so for me personally, loading game artwork for all of them would take forever and just take up a lot of useless space because 99% of them I'm never going to be flipping through. Um, so I see your point and I agree, but for those of us who also have this as like a library of reference, that might not work. Let's see how far. Oh, it's going. It's already on H's. But all right. So yeah, I think that's basically it. That's a sum up of all of this stuff. Um, I don't think I have a complaint of anything I looked over today. Everything's great. It could all just be everything could just be tweaked a little bit. But yeah, this is all awesome. So thank you all for joining me for this. I'm gonna have a write up of everything just in case, and I will probably have another one pretty soon. Oh yeah, Kawaka, the review for the TV stand was on the other channel. I'll drop that in the chat now. And this is like I do whatever the heck I want channel. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. If you think the stuff I put on here is dumb, that's fine. And the other thing I love about it is I was able to do a mini review on that channel and then talk about it in the weekly roundup and say, but hey, you got the whole summer here, so don't bother watching the video. So if this was the main channel, that would kill my algorithm, but it's the second channel. So yeah, don't watch the video. Totally cool. So yeah, thanks for the shout out though. But all right, well, you are all awesome. I appreciate you all very, very much. And I will see you soon for another stream. Maybe tomorrow, or if not, maybe next week, because I got another